Like you're like the good, clean, fun version of music hardcore podcast.
Welcome back to Hardcore Hotline, where we are just trying our best. This week, we are joined by Mark Frandsen of Time Heist, and they're from Denver, Colorado. You don't see that too often. Mark, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm doing all right.
Okay, well, don't worry. We'll make it worse. So,
Excellent.
the only thing that we know about your band is that you are straight edge. And apparently you're going to have new music out. But can you enlighten us a little bit more about your band and don't make it boring?
Yeah, we're from Denver, Colorado. We are a straight edge band.
Okay.
Some of us are old.
Oh.
Some of us are young.
Oh.
Yeah. I noticed that most of the bands that you interview are of a certain age.
Yeah.
But we actually have some younger members that are under 30.
Wow.
Which is like pretty impressive for a straight edge band in the
Is.
year
It
2024, I
is.
think. And other than that, no, we're pretty basic.
Yeah.
Straight edge band.
Yeah, definitely. Every other song is basically like, by the way, we're straight edge.
We only mentioned it a couple of times.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that come up to me and say things like, I'm not straight edge, but I really like your band.
Right. Yeah.
They have to preface it with that first.
Yeah.
Just to get that out of the way. Like, it's not quite, I'm not racist, but.
Yeah.
It's like a step below that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we try not to say straight edge too many times.
You don't want to alienate the people. Yeah.
Some of them.
Okay.
Yes. We want to alienate some people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
not everyone.
Okay. And why are you in this band?
I'm in this band mostly because I have nothing better to do.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've been in some bands before that sucked, and I wanted to be in a good band. So I found some people that were actually good at playing their instruments and very uncancelable to make sure that we could stay a band.
Okay. So you're saying that this one is the good one?
This one is the good one. At least I think it's the good one. It's the one that has the most streams on Spotify.
This is the good one. Great. So, Magician, you have this new album coming out. What's going on with that? Why did you do that to us?
Well, our former guitar player wanted us to go to Europe. But he said that before we go to Europe, we have to write a new record. And we have to release the new record before we go to Europe.
Right.
So we set up a tour to go to Europe and recorded the record so we could go to Europe.
Okay.
I'm not that great at stage banter, so we can't really get away with playing the same 6 songs for 2 years in a row.
Okay. Yeah.
Like some other bands.
Yeah. Maybe you can work on that. So you don't like tell the crowd what to do or anything like that. You're not like giving them directions like open up the pit, close the pit, open it a little more, close it by 30%, murder the person next to you lovingly. Things like that.
I say those things.
Okay.
But people don't seem to listen.
Yeah.
And
I
not really sure why that is.
No.
Like the move up. Like, that don't get a lot of response to that.
Yeah. Whenever bands look out into the crowd and they say "move up," it's slightly embarrassing because no.
If we were good, people would already
people would be
up.
People would be up there. They would know the words to your songs. They would want to sing along to them, even if they didn't know the words. They'd catch on pretty quickly because you're a straight edge band, and you're taking the annual hardcore band pilgrimage to Europe. What are you looking forward to over there besides leaving your loved ones behind?
I think I'm mostly looking forward to not being in America for 3 weeks.
Okay, that's fair.
That seems really appealing. Um, Experiencing culture, I
Hmm.
think it is what they call it, and good food, um, and beautiful scenery,
Okay.
and
I'm
yeah.
just wondering, have you never been to a Buc-ee's? Because scenery, food, culture can
I
all
went to
be found
Bucky's
there.
for I went to Bucky's for the first time recently because they just opened one in Colorado,
Uh-huh.
and it is an epic monument to consumerism. I will give
Yeah.
it that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you get like the what is it, the decision paralysis.
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
like, I don't know which of these 20 flavors of beaver nuts speaks to me.
There's so many nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I found it difficult to make decisions while I was in Bucky's.
Who are you guys playing with? Just some random people?
Yeah, I don't know. There's some bands may or may not have heard of. Conservative Military Image
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
one of them.
Okay.
Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah.
Um, then we're playing with Remain
Okay.
for a couple shows, which
Hmm.
is a band from Germany who are much better than us.
Yeah, obviously.
Um, and Incendiary, we're actually playing one show with them. Um, and I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah, the other bands that we're playing with, I don't. There's many of them, and I don't really remember their names.
Okay, okay. Well,
So,
we'll make sure to go back, as always, like we do with bands, find out who they are, tag them, and let them know that you hate them. And Mechanic, speaking of bands that you hate, you told us that you hate Incendiary, is that right?
well, they did kick out my. I think I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but
Mm,
Matt McNally used to be in the band. I don't know if you know Matt McNally.
not personally.
He's he's an angel of a human being,
Mm,
and I just like really love him.
yeah.
Sometimes he calls me to tell me that he's doing acid while watching the Cleveland Browns play, and
Pastimes.
I really appreciate that as like a
Yeah.
friend. Like I want to know when you're doing acid and watching football.
Okay.
Um, but wanted to I wanted to get a feel for kind of what your interviews were like. So I watched the one with what's his name, Dwayne from Incendiary, the drummer,
Dinosaur?
or
Yeah.
Duke or something.
Whatever his name
Um,
is, something or another.
yeah, and I noticed that he didn't. One thing that really stood out to me was he didn't know the difference between seasonings and
Mhm.
condiments.
Okay. Okay.
I found that really interesting. But then I remembered that he's from Long Island.
He is from Long Island and he is
Yeah.
a poser.
So
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. We'll
do
let
they have salsa?
I don't think
You mentioned
so.
salsa picante. Do they
Okay.
have salsa in Long Island?
I don't think so. I remember those very old commercials about salsa made in New York City, and the cowboys would laugh at that man. So I'm guessing it's something like that. We'll make sure that he knows your true feelings. So that show is super awkward.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring him a jar of salsa if they let us on the plane with it, and some seasoning, and like maybe before the show we'll just kind of like sit down and be like,
Yeah,
this is one and this. And I know like drummers are a little slow,
they are.
so
Bless.
it might take a while, but
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
we'll figure it out together.
Those
It'll
learning
yeah.
moments, teachable moments in the hardcore scene. Yeah, yeah. So those shows sound fun. Do you guys, before you go on stage, do you say like the oath from Dare from when you were in grade school to keep each other in check while you're on tour?
No, we just do the Slapshot
Hmm.
anthem, but we just insert the name of the city in
Okay.
instead of Boston.
Okay.
Yeah. So like Budapest is the rippenest town.
Uh-huh.
Don't like that kind of thing. And we can. It's even better now because Slapshot canceled their European tour, so they
Wonderful.
won't get mad that we
Yeah.
do cover one of their songs before they play.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely won't be mad. They probably won't even notice. What happens when you can't pronounce one of the names over there? Do you just kind of like say it really quickly into the microphone and hope that people just kind of are like, ah, that's fine.
our drummer speaks French.
Hmm.
So he was born in France, and I
Ooh.
assume that no one's perfect. I assume that all the European languages are very similar. So
They're the same. They just pretend like they're different to mess with us.
oh yeah,
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 yeah, for sure, for
uh,
sure.
yeah. So we'll let him do it,
Okay.
or our two guitar players speak Spanish, so maybe they can piece it together.
Okay, so you don't know
So
any other languages?
no, absolutely not. I'm a stupid American.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. So coming back to America, Matinee, what is the scene like in Colorado?
The scene in Colorado is actually really cool. The guys from Convulse Records, the folks from Convulse Records, they've done a really good job in the last couple years of really building up a really cool scene in Denver with a lot of different bands, a lot of different styles of punk and hardcore, putting on really, really good shows, and just kind of building up like there was already a really good foundation for hardcore in Colorado,
Mhm.
and they just kind of expanded on that, and now it's kind of exploded into a really good scene, where it was a place where in like the mid 2000s, like a lot of bands came here,
Mhm.
especially hardcore bands, but
Mhm.
now like every band is trying to come to Colorado, like whether they're a smaller hardcore band or bigger mainstream bands are coming to Colorado for multiple shows.
Wow. And isn't 303? They're from Colorado.
They are, yeah, they played a 420 show
Okay.
this year. Yeah,
Do
that
you
was
do you know them?
modern. Not personally,
Oh,
no, no.
all right then. I guess that's fine. What Colorado bands would you recommend that people listen to besides
Des-
yours, obviously?
Destiny Bond, Moral Law, Sewer Slide, Polish, Flack, Playing for Keeps, Wide Man, The Cycle, My Hands Your Heart. There's a really good ska band from here called the Dendrites, who are really awesome,
Okay.
good friends. Mouth for War from Colorado,
Okay.
and
Okay.
they have a South Music band called Ten to the Chest.
Hmm.
There's a lot. There's a lot of really good bands from here.
Okay. All right. It sounds like the dog in the background has a few recommendations. We'll try and translate that and see what they have to say. Out of all of those bands, which ones do you hate?
None of them. The bands that I
Oh.
hate, I didn't mention.
Oh, okay.
I can list.
Yeah.
Most of the bands that I hate are broken.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay. So it's not like Colorado hardcore beef. They're like outside in the winter with like their snowboards and stuff like that. Like,
no,
what are you doing on my ski mountain? Like in the 80s? Is it not like that?
I if you well, a lot of people here that are in the scene can't afford to go snowboarding because it's actually really expensive.
Oh, okay.
So there's not a lot of snow mountain
Oh,
beef.
oh,
Yeah,
it's a little disheartening. We were under the assumption that anyone who lives anywhere northwest of here was constantly on ski mountains having ski mountain beef. Okay, well, that's fine then.
no.
What are you hoping for Time Heist to do later this year and in 2025? Does it include breaking up?
Maybe. Um,
That's so
I don't. I
fun.
mean, I we. I think we're kind of on the 10-yard fight trajectory
Mhm,
of
mhm,
like you do a good demo and then a good EP and then like a decent split
mhm.
and then a full length and another EP and then you break up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
yeah.
you play like one reunion show.
Yeah, yeah. And then you're like, we should do this again. And then someone's like, I can't. My kids are in soccer camp. And the other guy is like, yeah, I can't get time off from work. And then people go into your DMs and they're like, why won't you play? because at that point, then you owe them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully breaking up in 2025.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
if we don't, I guess we might go on tour in the United States and see how that goes.
Okay. See if
I've heard it's fun.
okay. Yeah. Are you guys gonna
Yeah.
like play any fests or anything like that?
We don't get asked to play very many
Oh,
festivals.
I wonder
Um,
why. I wonder why.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a mystery.
probably because I think it's because our logo is too legible.
Okay.
You can read it very clearly, which I think
Yeah.
detracts a lot of people
Yeah.
from listening to us.
Right. Yeah. You have to find a festival for like older people who don't have the time to squint at a name and they're like, okay, I can read this. I guess I'll go see them.
Yeah, I don't think we would do very well at Punk Rock Bowling, which is I think like the first fest that comes to mind that
Yeah.
would like fall under that criteria of like
Yeah.
big
Mhm,
letters
mhm.
on a flyer that are easy to read.
Yeah, yeah. You could always play Fest in Gainesville. They have like 300 bands. So if you don't make that one,
Yeah,
you know
but
things are bad.
yeah, we haven't tried to play fest, but they haven't asked. So I think that's like a 50-50 kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, you can always try, and when they if they say no, then you can say that you did something. You did
It's all about
something.
the effort.
It's all
It's all
about the
about the
effort.
effort.
That's all it is. So, before we close up, is there anything else that you'd like our so many callers to know?
Yeah, if all 80 of the people that will watch this video could go
80.
and that was like the average for the counts that I saw.
Wow, wow. That is
Uh,
so many.
but if all 80 of those people could go pre-order our record
Mhm.
from Indecision, that would be really cool because then Dave might want to put out another record for
Okay.
us. But if not, it's cool.
Yeah,
Whatever. I
yeah,
understand.
whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. Is it pretty? Is it a pretty record?
It actually is. Yeah.
Mm,
It's got like some hands on it. They're old hands, but in like an artistic kind of way.
okay.
And there's that legible like logo again, but
Yeah.
like the kerning on it is excellent. And then the vinyl is it's pretty simple, but it would like look good as a bowl for like chips.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because you're not going to listen to it, but you
No.
could
No.
use it for something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make it useful around the house. Well, perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. Well, you heard him. So that is all of the time we have today. Darn it. Thanks to Mark Frandsen from Time Heist. And you can listen to their new EP, Every Passing Moment. That's what it's called. Not that you should listen to it every passing moment. But you can listen to that wherever you listen to music, or you can even buy the colorful little vinyls this is from their website. And maybe one day they'll play in the United States and people will definitely come and see. And we'll see you next time.